Thank you for watching WISD TV and welcome to the Greater Waco Advanced Manufacturing Academy. My name is Dale Caffey along with Donna McKethan. She is the Director of College and Career Readiness at Waco ISD. And Donna, of course, we're out here at the soon to open Greater Waco Advanced Manufacturing Academy. This update is for our viewers at home as well as area superintendents because this is a very special program. Let's talk about the fact that this is not only a Waco ISD program, but it is for the greater Waco community.
Indeed, Dale, it is a very special program. This program was established with help from the Waco Business League and the area businesses involved in manufacturing. They came up with the idea of putting this school together so that we could serve not only Waco ISD, but all the surrounding school districts. And so we are very excited that superintendents are going to learn more through our walkthrough today so they can see what we have to offer their students, not just Waco, but all students in the area that are interested in jobs in the area of advanced manufacturing.
And we're talking about manufacturing, specialized manufacturing, and we're going to start out in two areas and grow from there. Talk about that.
We're going to start with two areas. The first one is welding, and this is welding in terms of what they would need if they were to go into the welding profession, not just perhaps welding if they were working on a fence on a farm, but specific welding that's needed to be successful in the manufacturing arena. And then also we're going to do precision metal manufacturing, which is also needed in the welding area, but it's a little bit different. It's more in terms of the computerized use of computers and cutting and that sort of thing. So it's a little bit different, but both needed in the welding area.
And as you mentioned in the open, area businesses are very much involved not only with the opening of this manufacturing academy, but determining what is taught.
That's correct. And let's just say, first of all, they've done a wonderful job in helping us with financing this building. They believe in it so much that they've gone out to seek funding to help the district and help the area pay for this building. And so grant funds are coming in from all over. They're giving us their time, their efforts, and also helping us do this. So that's one thing that's important. But as you mentioned, the curriculum, we went out and we've done a lot of research. What does it mean? What do you need to go to do to be a part of Time Manufacturing, to be a part of Capstone Mechanical, or to be a part of Central Texas Iron Works? What do those employers need? And so they're looking at our curriculum, and we're working with TSTC to look at that curriculum to say, this is what we need in Waco, Texas, not necessarily all over other places, but what does Waco, Texas need to build a successful economy here in Waco in the area of welding.
That's right, because those businesses, some of which you mentioned, depend on a skilled workforce, and we're trying to provide that.
That's correct. When we did a tour this summer, we found every business we went to had openings for welders or precision metal manufacturer workers, sometimes upwards to 20 or more right there on the spot we were there that day. So there's a high need, a high demand, and so in working with the businesses, we're able to respond as a school district, respond as area school districts to say, we will help you prepare the economy, we'll help you with your workers, your skilled workers, so that we can build the community at large, not just, send you to a career, but these are actual jobs that are needed here in the area.
We are geographically where? For the folks at home who don't know where we're at the site of the old Doris Miller building, but let's talk about geographically where this is located.
This is a great location for one of the reasons we selected it. In talking with Dr. Kane, this was a campus that had been a former elementary school. It is real close to I-35. So that students that can come through the I-35 corridor, regardless of where they're coming from, will have a quick drive over here. In addition, in our neighbors on the other side of 35, you're looking at Lake Shore as a corridor to get here. And so this was a great location for all school districts involved because it's a very quick, because of it being close to 35 into Lake Shore, right in the middle, they can get here a lot easier.
Of course, we did one update before this, but a lot has happened. Of course, we're going to look at the construction and the renovations taking place here in just a moment. But also, you've named a principal of this site. Talk about that.
We have named a principal. We have actually named someone who grew up in the Waco ISD system. His name is Marcus Walker. He is currently my coordinator of career and technology, and he is now being named the principal at the last board meeting. He's a very strong believer in academies. He went to A.J. Moore Academy, went through that as a student to understand how that system helps students. But then he also worked with the academy as a teacher before coming to my office. So he's bringing his experience and knowing what academies should be like. We interviewed lots of folks, Dale. We had all kinds of people come in wanting this job. I mean, it was a very, I mean, it's a nice position to have. But what Marcus brought to the table was that he had experience working with business through A.J. Moore Academy. He had the academy system background as a student to know how it affects a student, but also as a teacher. So he was able to bring to us A.J. Moore Academy, which was a successful, nationally recognized academy, to bring all that experience in, and we believe that he's the right person to lead this academy because of that.
Very good, and I believe behind us we see Marcus's car. So he is no doubt here looking around, probably anxious to get this academy off the ground, but watching day by day the renovations that are taking place. So Donna, let's move inside and try to find Marcus and talk more about the Greater Waco Advanced Manufacturing Academy. Well, Donna, here we are in a hallway that's being renovated. Obviously, this is a classroom hallway of the old Doris Miller, because not only will the students here be learning about welding and manufacturing metals and things of that nature, but they'll have classes here. Talk about that.
That's correct. Not only will they be doing their career and technology classes or their welding and their manufacturing classes, but they're also going to be taking math and science classes. This is something that's very unique to this academy, and one of the things that the business leaders insisted on, and that is oftentimes students lose sight of the importance of math and science. And so what we're going to do is relate their career and technology program to their math, because math and science are vital to being successful in manufacturing. And so they'll be taking rocketry when they're seniors. They're going to be taking their physics classes here, their algebra classes here, and they're also going to be taking a class called engineering math that was developed by a team of Waco ISD teachers several years ago, where they will actually be using robots to study advanced math their senior year. So it's very exciting. These are programs that tend to be costly for other districts, or costly for us, but by coming together and joining forces, we're able to offer it to more students. So we're very excited about that.
Of course, the classroom wing here, and just outside the doors to the back of the school is the gymnasium that's being renovated for the actual manufacturing work.
That's correct. In this hall, you will have new locker rooms for the students to change into their welding attire, so that when they go outside, they're ready to go. And then when they come to class, they'll have a chance to freshen up a little bit, so that math class will be a little bit more pleasant for those who've been out in the working in the shop.
Right.
Then there'll be Mr. Walker's office is in this building. We have a computer lab that students and teachers will be able to access for different pieces of their projects. And so that's what's going on in this hall, and the smell of paint is wonderful. I just love it.
It is wonderful. You mentioned Mr. Walker, the newly named principal, and I think I see
There
Mr.
he
Walker.
comes.
Here he comes. I knew you were out here.
Good morning.
Watching the progress being made, obviously. How excited are you about this?
I cannot believe that this is happening. This is truly a dream come true. Everybody, I can tell that too. I'm very excited that this is
You're out here on a day-to-day basis,
Yes,
so
sir.
you're seeing progress being made day to day. It may seem slow to you, but it's happening. And what I'm going to do is ask you to take the microphones,
Okay.
find the superintendent of the construction process here, and maybe take us on a brief update of the progress being made.
no problem. We'll do that.
Okay.
Thank you. So this is Jimmy Clark from Mazana Construction. He's our project superintendent for the project. We're currently in the classroom right now. Can you tell us what's going on in here?
Well, this is one of 7 of the classrooms, and they're all pretty much the same, and we're in the demolition part of the project, and we're going to be getting all new paint, new flooring, new VCT tile, and new base, and we're going to clean them up and make them substantial classrooms.
All right, fantastic. We're going to leave the classrooms now and go over to the office where I'll be stationed at with the secretary to watch the students. Let's go head over there now.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Clark, so we are currently in what will become my office and the secretary's office.
Correct.
And it was really important for me to get into the same space where the kids would be during general instruction, because the building is built into 2 sections. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, what we did here, this was originally one of the classrooms, and we've moved the whole layout this way. We put in new CMU walls and cut a new doorway through the hallway CMU walls to get into the reception and then into here, and a sheetrock divider wall between you and reception. And this will all be new paint, new flooring, new ceilings, new lighting, and we'll go from there.
All right, fantastic. So we're going to head over to the boys and girls locker rooms that are being completely renovated from former elementary school restrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead over that way now.
Okay.
All right, Jimmy, so we're currently coming into the boys and girls restroom / locker area. Can you tell me a little bit about what's happened here?
Well, we're kind of like in the demo stage also here with the ceilings, but we do have the new CMU walls up to divide the areas. This will be coming into the girls' restrooms.
Okay.
We're going to have new tile floors.
Okay.
And this area right here, it'll take you into the new lockers that the girls will be using.
All right, fantastic. And lead us through.
And coming through here, of course, we're going to have new walls put here that we've just got our new plumbing in and inspected and passed.
Okay.
And all these walls here will have new tile on those with all new tile floors.
Okay.
Same with these walls over here for the restroom for the boys, and more paint, of course. And this area right here will take you into the boys' locker room area.
Okay. All right, Jimmy, so thanks for that tour. We're going to head over to the welding lab so we can get a demonstration about what's happening there.
Okay.
All right. All right, Jimmy, so the most exciting part of this update is going to be the welding facility. We're currently on the outside of what will become the welding lab, so to speak. Can you tell us what's going on outside?
Okay, what we just came around is going to be a road, a pug-based road that we can bring, the kids can bring in trailers and whatnot through a roll-up door.
Awesome.
To work on, to weld, practice their welding or whatever they're going to be doing with the teachers.
Right.
And this will be a 12-foot high by 10 roll-up door to enter and exit all kinds of equipment.
Awesome. So you're going to take us on the inside now to tell us what's happening there as well.
Sure,
right?
we can go in
Awesome.
inside.
Let's go that way. All right, Mr. Clark, so we are currently in what will be the welding facility lab. Can you tell us what's happening in here?
Okay, we're at the, we've already demoed the existing PE floor, and that's all out. And we've got our roll-up door opening cut in. Mm-hmm. Above here, we've got ductwork has started for the ventilation system for each one of the welding booths.
Awesome.
And laid out on the floor, you can't see it right now, probably on camera, but is 12 different booths that we're going to have, and they're all going to be enclosed by an 8-foot by 8-inch wide CMU block walls.
Awesome.
So every station will be 6 feet by 6 feet with
Mm-hmm.
a special safety curtain behind them where they can practice their welding.
Awesome.
And over here we've got the electrical conduits that's coming in that'll all feed and be each one of the booths. And we'll have acetylene and oxygen, and they'll all be ran to each booth.
So we're going to get these kids prepared to become welders when they step foot into this lab.
Professional welders.
That is very exciting. So thank you, Mr. Clark, for the tour that we had today. We're going to meet back inside with Dale and Donna to wrap up the update.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Good seeing you.
Thank you.
Back inside the classroom section of the Greater Waco Advanced Manufacturing Academy. Thank you, Marcus, and thanks to Mr. Clark for giving us an update on the construction. And on this last part of our update this time, Donna, we are going to give the parents at home some vital information about this great project that we're undergoing here at Waco ISD with the surrounding school districts, and also communicate with the superintendents of the area school districts. Number one, let's talk about the class schedule that these students will have here at the Greater Waco Advanced Manufacturing Academy.
Thank you, because that is one of the things that we have changed about our original plan based on input from the other school districts. We originally were going to have an afternoon session only where students came over here at 1 o'clock. And then as we talked to areas, districts, they said, wait a minute, we've got to get the kids back for football, or we've got to get the kids back for band. And so because of that input, we have then expanded to have both a morning session and an afternoon session so that whatever is best for the students at their home campus can be scheduled. So the first session will start in the morning. It'll run 8 to 11:30. In the morning, they can come and they'll take 4 classes with us. We're on a block schedule, or they can come at 1 o'clock to 4:30, whatever works best for the student. And once again, that was input from our area, principals and superintendents said, hey, wait, we need 2 sessions. And what that's enabled us to do is to expand from 75 students of our original plan to 150. And so that's valuable input. So with Dr. Kane's work with the superintendents and with meetings we've had, we've been able to take their input into putting this program together.
Also, I believe it shows the flexibility of really trying to make this a successful program.
Yes, we want this to be successful, and so we've been working on this for over a year now. And as we started talking, we wanted everyone's needs to be handled. So we'd look at a problem, how we're going to fix it, and then we'd move forward. So we want it to be a success. Businesses, superintendents, Dr. Kane, everyone has been so supportive in working through that process of where the issues were.
Okay, going to turn now and talk to Marcus for just a moment and a little back and forth discussion. And Marcus, let's talk about the students we're targeting for this project. I believe they need to be at least a junior in high school.
Correct. What we want to do is we want to build a robust program, and what that means is we have to start at the younger ages, so our juniors, and we want to grow them into seniors and then eventually graduate them off into either college or career readiness. So what we're focusing on now is we're doing sophomores and juniors, which will be next year's juniors and seniors to join our program.
And we're talking about making this program available for any type of student, the high achiever or the one that needs some special help.
Yes, sir. Our focus is any kids that want to come to us, we'll take them. So we're not discouraging anybody from joining us.
Very good. Along with that, Donna, let's talk a little bit about the importance of the end-of-course exam, because I know that that's something that's come up among the constituents as well, is making sure that not only do they learn something that's vital for their future as far as a career, but also to pass those EOCs.
Right. High stakes testing is one of those things. I can't even say it, so you know how important it is. It's one of those things that we all have to worry about, and the districts, they work hard on their campuses to make sure that their kids pass, and so all of a sudden we're asking them to trust us when they send us their students, because Algebra 2 is an end of course exam as well as physics. However, what I'd like to assure them is that we're going to build into the program some tutorials. We've talked in the past about our Friday seminar days, and on that Friday seminar day, if a student is struggling in their algebra or struggling in their physics, tutors from Baylor University are committed to come over and help us. Also during that time, because the teachers can also give some one-on-one, so between one-on-one specific training or tutoring with the students, the Baylor tutoring, and then a very close monitoring, because this is in the morning, it's 75 students, so we're going to be able to very closely monitor those students and their progress. But I think the most important thing, Dale, is that sometimes students disengage in math and science because they see no real-world application. And we believe in the TSTC model, and that is that you teach math and science along with the program of study that they're in. And so we really feel confident these students are going to do very well on their end of course exams. We'll be monitoring it. They'll actually go home to their campuses to take those tests. They won't take them here. But at the same time, we feel confident that through the tutoring process and through the real world application, these students are going to do amazing on their end of course exams.
Of course, we are talking about students still, students that are 15, 16, 17 years old. They're not fully grown up yet, and we're going to talk about discipline, but I'm going to talk with the newly named principal, because of course, a principal at a school has to make sure that the students behave and do what they're supposed to do in their classes. But I understand it's not going to be your typical disciplinary program here. Talk about how it's going to be different at the Greater Waco Advanced Manufacturing Academy.
That is correct, Dale. I do want to stress that we work heavily with our advisory team, business advisory team, and what they have suggested to us is to mimic the business structure as closely as possible. And that means from the non-ventilation outside for air conditioning for the welding students, that would also include the discipline structure, which is a 4-point progressive. And so we're going to start off with a 4-point discipline process. It's going to be a verbal warning. The second will be a written. The third, the kids will sit out with me for the day. And then the fourth one is dismissed. So that's a small portion of what the business advisory team suggested that we do. We also will have students clock in, clock out. We will try to mimic businesses as closely as possible when we're dealing with students' safety, discipline, and structure.
And of course, one of the reasons the clock in, clock out will be in place is because you want the students here on time.
Absolutely. It's very important that, one, kids are safe, kids come to classes, because we are mimicking we're trying to get these kids college and career ready. So they need to be on time to come to work, and they need to be on time to come to school.
Okay. Thank you, Marcus. And also some very important information for area superintendents, Donna, is the tuition cost, because there is some money involved here, but it will be sort of a transfer from one part of the school's budget to this particular manufacturing academy.
Yes, what we did is we worked with Cheryl Davis in the business office to work through how we would go about the structure of payment for this. Waco ISD is not anticipating any kind of a profit from this, but we do want to make sure that all our costs are covered. So what we did is we did a survey of what area districts get in ADA or for their students. They get weighted ADA for the career and technology classes. So we did kind of a general, this is what most campuses get, kind of an average. And we came up with a figure of $2,900 for 4 periods. And then we are, as you see, the business folks have helped us with donations to, get this building going. But we have plans to go forward with additional. So we've added a building use fee of $400. So the tuition for a student to come here would be $3,300. That will be worked out with the campuses or the districts, is how that is done through Cheryl Davis's office, and how that tuition would come in, whether it comes in by semester or comes in by for the full year. There are also scholarships that our business advisory folks are working with, so that we would possibly have some of those available. Businesses are interested in having some of those scholarships as well. So, but as we move forward, a general figure for the campuses and administrators to look at would be $3,300.
$3,300, and of course part of that, as you mentioned, was a building use fee for future growth. And I'm not going to ask you to list all of the future plans, but at least a couple, 2 or 3 of the academies that we're looking to adding later on.
Well, we're looking, first of all, at a masonry program, which would probably encompass a building trades sorts of program. Building trades programs are very expensive for campuses to run. So just like the welding, which is expensive, unifying our funds and coming together, masonry, building trades would be one that we're definitely looking at. The next one is the plumbing and pipe fitting, which is closely related to the welding field. There's many things that are similar. And it's a little bit different, but it has some similarities. And then the other one we're looking at is HVAC. And as we move forward, we'll start working on those as the summer comes and we get this up and going, and we'll start bringing in businesses and start working on that process as well.
We recently had a meeting involving area superintendents. Not all of the superintendents could be there, so therefore we're making this in-depth video for them to look at to learn more about the academies. And one of the questions was about transportation. Can you address that?
Yes, I can. Now, students would have a choice. They could drive their own car here if that was their choice. Their districts provide for that, or if the district chooses and provides transportation for the students, which we would encourage them to, so that they would have the ability to come, there is a reimbursement. If you work through your business office, it's actually vocational because it is old wording, but there is a vocational reimbursement of the transportation, and you can go through Region 12. They can work with you, with the superintendents, on how to figure that out, what their reimbursement would be, or if they have someone within their own school districts that work heavily with that transportation piece, they would be able to point them through that process of working out how much the reimbursement. But it's not just on the district's own to pay for that. There is a reimbursement that the state provides for through the transportation system to move to a different location to get your career and technology education.
Very good. And to wrap up this segment, we're going to turn back to our principal, Marcus Walker, and talk about the student buy-in on this, because there are a couple of things that the students are supposed to purchase themselves to show their seriousness about participating in this program.
What's important to know is that school districts will be paying a tuition, and that will provide teachers, textbooks, supplies that students will weld in. But we also want some buy-in from the students. So the students will be required to pay for their helmet and their boots. And there'll be scholarships available through our local business advisory team that the students can apply for that will pay for those items.
Very, very good. Okay. For the student out there who's interested, or the parent who's interested on behalf of the student, tell them how to learn more and how to apply.
Well, it's very important that students apply. Our application deadline is April 15th, and that's coming up. The application is available at www.gwama.org, and that's the Greater Waco Advanced Manufacturing Academy website. All the information that parents want to know about the academy will be there. The application will be there as well. And if they have any questions, all the counselors in the school districts know about this program. If they have any questions from the counselors, they can contact them, or they can contact me.
Very, very good. Marcus Walker, newly named principal of the Greater Waco Advanced Manufacturing Academy. Thank you so much for joining us today. Same to you, Ms. Donna McKethan, with College and Career Readiness at Waco ISD. You have been watching an update here at the Greater Waco Advanced Manufacturing Academy at Waco ISD, where there are learners today, leaders tomorrow.